Vanessa, it's often been said, do not make a decision based on fear. But in this case, if a decision to shut down local businesses could save lives, even if it's based on fear, could that be a wise decision? With 3 days to go before Thanksgiving, that discussion on fears and worries ramping up. After a rise in cases, we're now seeing a rising fear of another forced shutdown or forced changes.
That's what was my biggest worry, was I got to be on this and I got to be vocal now, because I don't want it to, be like them saying, like, you have 3 days and then you're closing indoor dining and that's it. That's just, it's not enough time.
That's why Pammy's owner took a couple of hours away from her struggling Cambridge business.
Ruffle some feathers so that everyone knows that we're here going, please don't abandon us.
She wanted to listen in and speak out to City Council Monday night about the fear of potentially shutting down non-essential businesses.
The council does not have any authority to shut down businesses.
But the council can make a recommendation to the city manager.
COVID is surging. But we also know we're getting into the holiday season, and retail and restaurants are devastated. They're all at 25 to 30% of where they were last year. Our businesses, most of them, cannot withstand another shutdown.
Difficult decisions about survival.
Both trying to survive COVID, but also just trying to, put food in our families' bellies.
Happening in Cambridge and statewide.
Thanksgiving clearly represents a big potential risk for the spread of COVID-19, similar to the risk that it was in Canada.
A holiday to help us grow in thankfulness, now making some grow in fear.
Just because we're done with the pandemic doesn't mean the pandemic's done with us. So I think we need to do whatever we can to keep people safe and save lives. If that means closing down some non-essential businesses, I think that's what we have to do to make sure that we stay healthy.
I'm not anti-COVID and saying I want everyone to be safe. And if they think that we need to shut down restaurants, good God, let's shut the restaurants down, but let's give them relief so that we can open back up.
A very similar sentiment to a lot of the people that called into the meeting tonight, saying even if you do have to shut down the restaurants, they have a lot of fears about having to lay employers off, or if worse, having to shut down for good, not being able to reopen. So they said even if you have to shut down the restaurants for some time, make sure they have a little bit of funds to at least, Mark and Vanessa, get them through the holidays.
Does make sense, Wale, and we know the city council cannot make any decisions tonight, but any word on what recommendations they will make to the city manager?
Yeah, so I just checked in. They're actually still meeting right now. The meeting has been going on now 6 hours about, and basically they're deciding to continue to talk about this. So no necessarily decisions tonight, but decisions to continue this conversation and to kind of monitor where the numbers are. And one thing I did hear them talk about that I do want to mention is they realize that any decision really needs to be made on a region-wide basis, because they said even if they make a decision here in Cambridge, Mark, then people would just go to restaurants and gyms and casinos in the next town over, Somerville, Brookline, or wherever else they can go.
Have to view it in its totality for sure. Wale, thanks.